too little, too late. It indeed will be the epitaph of the Conservative Party.
Helen Whatley.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. And I thank the Right Honourable Lady for advance sight of her statement. She and I agree on one thing. The welfare bill is too high. Left unchecked, it will rise to £100 billion by the end of the decade. Spending more on sickness benefits than we do on defence is not the sign of a strong country. And this isn't just a question of money. We have 3 million working-age people not working due to ill health, not filling the roles businesses need, not contributing to our economy, not fulfilling their own potential. Now, the best way to get the welfare bill down is to get people off benefits and into work. That is what we did year after year after taking office in 2010. Despite the once-in-a-century pandemic, there were 4 million more people in employment when we left office than the mess we inherited from Labour. Before the pandemic, economic inactivity was at a historic low. But it's true that then we started to see a new phenomenon: growing numbers of people claiming sickness benefits, and particularly worryingly, young people. A system set up with good intentions to protect the most vulnerable in society had over time morphed into something broader, driven in part by a well-intentioned but not always helpful medicalisation of life's ups and downs. In government, we identified this problem. We worked up plans to tackle it, but at every point, Labour opposed them. In fact, the Chancellor said that not one single penny could be saved from benefits. So when they came into office, not only did they cancel or delay pretty much everything we handed over, they had no plans of their own. They walked into the department with empty notebooks. All they'd done in opposition is oppose, instead of the hard work of coming up with their own answers. That's why the country has had to wait another 8 months for this announcement. And in that time, taxpayers have shelled out £7 billion in extra sickness benefits. Nearly 500,000 people have been signed off sick. In fact, 60 people were signed on to sickness benefits while the Right Honourable Lady was talking. Nonetheless, I have been looking forward to hearing what she would announce today, and which of the many things briefed out to the media her spinning policy wheel would eventually land on. Governing is hard. We know that. In the last few weeks, they have made it look really hard. But nothing compared to how hard life can be for a severely disabled person. Somebody for whom getting up, getting dressed, getting breakfast, things most of us here found easy to do this morning, they find hard, if not impossible. For some people, the last few weeks has been deeply frightening. They will be glad for the uncertainty to finally be at an end. Mr. Speaker, I can genuinely say that I want the Right Honourable Lady to succeed, and I welcome her commitment today to increase the number of reassessments and that more of these will be taking place face-to-face and recorded. I welcome the investment in employment support for disabled people. And of course, I welcome her re-announcing a host of things that we were doing in government. Scrapping the work capability assessment and creating a single assessment. That is already government policy, due to come in 2026-27. Her big idea seems to be to delay this until 2028. Merging New Style JSA and ESA into a new time-limited higher rate, a proposal we worked up in government. Tightening up eligibility for PIP, a consultation we launched, and by the way, would have gone much further on. Ending reassessments for people whose health conditions won't improve, we consulted on. Their right to try guarantee sounds remarkably similar to our chance to work guarantee. And of course, her continued support for Workwell, a programme I launched with the now Shadow Chancellor. In fact, the only original idea I can see in their entire announcement is increasing the rate of unemployment benefits. A Labour policy, if ever I heard one. Mr. Speaker, this is a now or never chance to seize the moment, a now or never for millions of people who will otherwise be signed off for what could end up being a lifetime on benefits. But this announcement today leaves me with more questions than answers. How many people will this help back into work? By when? Surely we haven't been waiting 8 months just for another green paper. Where is the fit note reform crucial to stem the flow of people onto benefits? Where is the action on people being signed off sick for the everyday ups and downs of life? Why is she only planning to save $5 billion when the bill is forecast to rise to over $100 billion? And do the savings she's announcing today include the $5 billion savings we had already agreed with the OBR for reforming the work capability assessment? Because if so, she has made virtually no savings of her own. What is the saving net of the additional expenditure planned? Fundamentally, this is too little, too late. The fact is, $5 billion. The fact is, $5 billion just doesn't cut it with a bill so big going up so fast. She needed to be tougher. She should be saying, no more hard-working taxpayers funding the family next door not to work. No more free top-of-the-range cars for people who don't need them. No more sickfluencers helping people to claim money they don't need. And now, before the Right Honourable Lady puts on her angry voice and leans across the dispatch box to shout at me about 14 years, can I gently say to her that everybody in this chamber and around the country knows that we lost and they won, and now her job is to govern, and it is my job to hold her to account. Our country needs everybody who can work to work. This principle should be at the heart of our welfare system. It is good for the taxpayer, good for the economy, good for the individual and their family who benefit from the security, dignity and purpose that work brings. And it means that those who genuinely cannot work get the support they deserve. But the fact is, fewer people work under Labour. It's happened every time they've been in office, and it's already happening now. They should have taken their time in opposition to come up with some meaningful reforms. They didn't, and the country is already paying the price.
Secretary of State.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I mean, I personally like the Honourable Lady a great deal, but her entire response seemed to be railing against her own party's failings and lamenting action her party itself failed to take. Too little, too late, it indeed will be the epitaph of the Conservative Party. One thing I do agree with is that this is a now or never moment, and I'm proud that this government is taking it, taking decisive action, ducking the challenges that have been ignored for too long. And also, I would say, Mr. Speaker, I'm not interested in being tough. This is about real people with real lives, and we have to be careful how we talk about this. I'm interested in taking the right steps to actually change the system, to transform people's lives, and crucially, to ensure that we have a social security system that lasts in future. 1 in 3 of us will have a health condition in our lifetimes. 1 in 4 of us is disabled. And unless we as a country in the welfare state, the world of work and all of our public service wake up to that fact, that welfare state that the Labour Party created will not be there for future generations, as that is what we are determined to secure. This is a substantial package of measures that will save around £5 billion by 29-30. We will have to wait till the OBR comes up with its final costings on all of this at the spring statement. But I would just leave honourable members with this. The former Chancellor George Osborne said a decade ago, governments let unemployed people get parked on disability benefits and told they would never work again. Why? Because people on disability benefits don't get counted in unemployment figures that could embarrass politicians. The Labour Party isn't embarrassed about this situation. We're ashamed of the state the Tories left the country in. We will face up to our responsibilities. It's time honourable members opposite did the same.